Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to unbox my brand new Miami Cuban Link Bracelet from Daniel Jewerly Inc. Quick wristwatch check. I am wearing my Omega Speedmaster 3861 white dial. Love this watch. This is a sapphire sandwich. It has a see-through case back. Take a look at that beautiful movement right there. But we're not here for the watch. I am planning to make a full review of this watch, so if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to subscribe if you'd like to do so. But this video here is focused on this brand new Miami Cuban Link Bracelet from Daniel Jewerly Inc. So let's unbox this. I actually haven't seen this yet, so this is going to be my first time taking a look at this with you guys. So obviously it comes in this white outer sleeve here. It was shipped through FedEx. I had to pick it up at the nearest FedEx location because this is a high value item and they don't want the wrong person signing for it at your place of residence. So as you can see here, this box here has the D for Daniel Jewerly Inc. You open it up, you got the two LED lights in here, and the bracelet is in this pouch here. So let's open this up. And again, this is the first time I'm seeing this. So I'll be seeing it with you guys for the first time. Nice little suede pouch here with the same D that's on the box. I'll put this aside. So it comes in this black wrapping paper here with this little elastic rubber band to hold it shut. All right. So as you can see, this wrapping also has the gold D all over, which is a nice little touch. All right, here it is, guys. So this is an 8mm Miami Cuban Link in 14 karat gold. I opted for the sleek lock with my initials on here in the raised lettering in the block. Take a look at this tag here. It says 7.5 inches, Cuban 8mm, 14 karat gold. This is about 40.8 grams of gold. Let's take a look at this very closely because again, this is my first time looking at it. You got the sleek lock here. So they say the box lock is the most secure lock for a Miami Cuban Link. However, I felt that for a bracelet, I prefer the sleek lock. This is supposed to make a big click when you click it in. Let's take a look here and listen for that click. Oh yeah. All right, that's not going anywhere, guys. Even though the box lock is the most secure, this is really not going anywhere. It's a double mechanism, double locking mechanism here. So you have that flip lock initially. So you lift that up and then you're supposed to push. There's a button here that you push in to pull this out. So very simple. I opted for the 14 karat gold because since it's a bracelet, I wanted a little bit of durability. If it's going to be on your wrist, you're constantly going to be banging your wrist on the table, therefore scratching up and denting up the gold. And if I went for 18 carats, it's a little bit softer, probably not by much, but it is more prone to scratching. And obviously anything over 18 karat is going to be even more prone to scratching because gold is a soft, precious metal. When you get 14, it's a little over 50% gold. I believe it's close, it's just under 60%. And it's mixed with other alloys such as copper, silver, and things like that to provide some more durability for this bracelet. So let's just look at the craftsmanship here. So as you can see, the links are pretty tight. I'm just taking a look here under the light to see if there's any notable imperfections. Nothing that I could really see so far. All right, and I know you guys like to see the hang straight test. From what I've read, this test isn't that important because it doesn't matter for hang straight. It's gonna go on your wrist, which is not straight. So this one doesn't really hang straight. As you can see, it does curve at the end of here, but I don't really see an issue with that. A lot of videos I watch from Daniel Jewerly Inc, they do hang straight. Mine doesn't, but again, not really an issue for me because it's going to wrap around your wrist. Your wrist is not straight, it's curved, so it doesn't really matter. So they had the suggested retail price here, which is $6,300. I didn't pay this amount, I paid less than that. However, I believe this is just a suggested retail. I went with the 8mm size. I thought it was a good everyday size. I think anything larger might be a little too much for an everyday size. I considered going 9mm. I was actually stuck between 8 and 9mm, and I went back and forth in my mind. I don't think you can go wrong with either size for an everyday bracelet. However, I thought the 9mm might be a little too showy. I really don't want to be too showy. I just wanted something simple on my wrist here that I can just wear out as an everyday bracelet. So I am gonna pause the camera real quick. I'm gonna rip off this tag and then try it on, and then we'll see how it fits. I also have a caliper. I'm just gonna measure it to make sure it is 8mm. You know what? I'll just do that now before I try it on. All right, I got calipers here. It's zeroed out. So let's take a look and see what the width of this bracelet is. Kind of hard to do this, guys. All right, so there's 8.2 right there. Let's test it further down. Again, 8.2. Let's test it closer to the lock. 8.2. So it's actually pretty consistently 8.2 around the entire bracelet. So 8.2 pretty much all around. You're not gonna get exactly when you order a bracelet that's handmade. This is handmade in Miami from Cubans. It may not be 8.2 all around. It may not be the same with all around because it is handmade. One part of it might be a little thicker than the other, which is completely normal, nothing to worry about. All right, guys, we're gonna do a quick weigh here. According to the tag, this bracelet is supposed to weigh around 40.8 grams there. So let's see here. So I am going to tear this out. Let me just adjust the camera here so you can see it. All right, and I am gonna put the bracelet on here. Let's take a look. All right, guys, so that's saying 41 grams. The tag says 40.8. My scale probably doesn't go to decimal places, so 41 grams, it's on point. We are good with the sizing and the weight there. I've also asked Daniel Jewerly Inc. to send me a video of them scanning my bracelet with their x-ray gun. If you ask them to do so, they'll happily send it. If you can see here, 14 karat, 14.21, a little bit over 14 karat. It shows you all the alloys that the bracelet is mixed with. So there you go. So really quick, I'm gonna put this on my wrist and let's see how it looks. All right, guys, this is how it looks on my wrist. I think it looks pretty good. It is slightly smaller than it probably appears on camera. However, again, I just wanted an everyday gold bracelet here. The price of gold is going up significantly. It's at this time of recording, it's about $3,700 an ounce. So when I ordered this bracelet, there's actually been 2 price increases on the Daniel Jewerly Inc. website. Not by much. I think this bracelet went up about $200 from when I ordered it. Now, I contacted Daniel Jewerly Inc. and I asked them how long does it take to fabricate a bracelet like this. They told me 6 to 8 weeks through email. I put in the order, and after I put in the order, the automated messaging said, please allow 7 to 8 weeks for fabrication. So great. I put in this order to try to get this bracelet close to my birthday, which was a few months back. They did estimate up to 8 weeks. However, it took 13.5 weeks to get this bracelet made. So it took about an extra month and a half to get this bracelet. I'm pretty sure the reason is they're backed up. I understand that this is handmade, but I think I would have appreciated a heads up just saying, hey, your bracelet's gonna be delayed a little bit. We're still working on it, rest assured. I didn't really get any emails like that or nothing. I had to keep following up with the store to find out the status of the bracelet. So will I order from Daniel Jewerly Inc. again? I think the bracelet has really good craftsmanship. If you take a look, no real visible flaws. Again, it's handmade, so it's not going to be perfect. I got lucky where mine was about 8.2 millimeters width all across the bracelet. It doesn't have to be the same width all across. Like I said, it's handmade, so some parts may be thicker than others, which is fine. As long as there's no super visible flaws. However, I feel like they should have been upfront about how long it would really take. I understand things get backed up. I'm not saying anything bad about the company, but maybe a quick heads up would have been nice. If I knew it was going to take 13.5 weeks, I probably would have ordered this bracelet from another company to try to get it closer to my birthday. Like I said, this was a birthday gift to myself. And my birthday was about 2 months ago, so we really missed the mark there. However, the craftsmanship is really nice. Taking a look at this bracelet, it was probably well worth the wait. Not saying anything bad about the company again. I've heard some things about their customer service. I thought the customer service was pretty good, except for maybe being proactive and keeping me up to date on the timing of this. I went with 7.5 inches, so my wrist is about 6.75 inches. As you can see, there's a little bit of wiggle room. I've watched a lot of reviews and read up on these sizing for these bracelets, they say go about a ½ inch over your wrist. So I went about 0.75 inches. I like things relatively tight. I don't really want it going all the way down on my wrist here. So the wrist sub movement, it is comfortable. My wrist can breathe. And I think overall, I'm happy with the size, happy with the looks and craftsmanship on this. I probably could have went with the 18 karat. Like I said, I chose 14 specifically for the durability. However, I don't think 18 is that much softer than the 14. 18 would have been a nice investment. Obviously, price of gold is going up significantly, but like I said, as a bracelet, I'm gonna constantly be banging my hand on the table, and I wanted something very durable. I do want to get a matching Cuban chain, Cuban necklace. This is 8mm. I would probably go with a 6mm. Gonna look at my options and see where to order from. I'm thinking about a 6mm Cuban chain at about a 22-inch standalone chain, and I'll probably go with the box lock on that. As a bracelet, I didn't really want the box lock. I thought that the sleek lock does look a little bit cleaner. Again, I think my initials here look really nice on this. It's not too in your face. It's pretty subtle. You could wear this with the initials up. You could flip it over and wear it with the initials down and kind of hide it. Doesn't matter. But I'm happy with this piece. I think now I need to get a two-tone watch to kind of match this. So we'll see. I'm a big fan of the Rolex GMT Master 2 Guinness. So with the price of gold going up, that's had a few price increases, and you know, we may see more with tariffs, etc. Overall, happy with the piece. Thanks for sticking this far in the video. Here's again my Omega Speedmaster white dial 3861. I'm planning to make a review of this watch if you want to stay along for the journey. And please let me know if you have any questions. Again, 14 karat gold, 8.2mm across. This is about 40.8 grams on the wrist here. It does have a nice weight to it, so I can feel it, but it's not too heavy, not too gaudy, not too in your face. As an everyday piece, probably shouldn't go lower than 8mm as an everyday piece. Obviously, get what you want, get what you like. But I think anything, for my wrist at least, anything smaller than 8mm is probably too small. And I think for an everyday piece, anything over 9mm is probably too big. So I think the 8 or 9 is the sweet spot. I probably could have got away with a 9mm, but didn't want to be too in your face. I just wanted this to be a subtle pop on the wrist here. Thanks for watching. Have a great one, everyone, and I'll see you guys soon.